everybody, Jim from Jim's Coleus here. Beautiful, beautiful Jersey Shore day here. Just went for my walk. Gonna put my coleus out on the table here. Let's go take a look and show you how just beautiful, how beautiful they are, how they're just growing and growing. I potted a bunch more trays. I think I'm up to like 10 or 11 trays. So let's do the math. That's 10 or 11 trays, 16 to 18 pots per tray, and average 1 to 2 coleus per pot, mostly 2 per pot. So we'll do the math on that. Let's go and take a look, and you can see and just follow along. I'm going to try to update you guys weekly. And again, if you're following along and you're growing coleus and you're at about the same point as I am and you're having a little trouble, don't expect everything to be the same. There's so many variables between where I am and where you are, the products you're using, the amount of light and so forth. But I'm here to help you guys. This is you're part of my family. This isn't just my YouTube channel. This is our little hangout. So I'm here for you guys and you're here for me. So let's go and take a look really quick and enjoy these beautiful, beautiful. And I said it in my other videos, but clearly this is my best crop ever. I've never seen such a variety of color. Distinguishing characteristics of each of the plants are amazing this year. So I can't wait to get outside and really see these mature into healthy, mature coleus. So let's go inside, take a look. Okay, so I think I have 2 trays. I have 1 tray up there and the rest of my crop, and I still have several hundred coleus left. We'll get to those, but let's go really slow so you guys can enjoy these. Yeah, let me put the light. Let's see how the light does. So about, I'm guessing around 350 coleus right now potted. And if I see any that really stand out, we'll give them a feature. Just so you know, I tried a little something different this year. Tried to use a little different products each year. I kind of like the Osmocote. This has been around a long time. It's time-release fertilizer. How time-release fertilizer works is it responds to the heat, the moisture in the heat. So as it gets warmer and warmer, it'll break down faster because the needs of the plant are going to increase, the stress and stuff. So that's how that time-release fertilizer. But this Osmocote Plus, I'm going to give it a try this year. It's been around a long time, and let's see. That one I saw the other day, and I'm like, let's get that into its own pot. Look at the beautiful color on that. I mean, that is so striking. And that's not the camera doing that. That's how it stands out, how stunning that is. Now wait until that's older. So following along, let's keep track. We're going to keep featuring this and that one too. And those are really amongst my favorite colors, combinations with the white. And that would be like a wizard rose Kong. And there's so many variations. They're green, they have white, fuchsia, pink, different intensities of pink. They may have some black in it. Those are really my favorite, the ones that have a little speckles of black. And that may develop still, so we'll keep track on that one. But look at that. We got to get a nice shot of that. Let's take a picture. A lot of different variations here. Colossal marbles, Kongs, jitters. And if you're wondering, that background noise, that's not a waterfall. That's my my Plico Hank here. He's a sailfin Plico. He's about 13 years old. Here's a picture of him. He's quite a guy. So when I hear the water that loud, it means I have to add water to the tank. So I have my plate pretty full here. And as the season progresses, I get even more busy. So as you can see, just a lot of variety. Got a lot of, as I mentioned in my previous video, if you follow along, is these beautiful reds. All right, let's step back a little. So I'll have about, I'm figuring 20 trays probably, or 15, probably 20 trays all told by the end. And I'm absolutely hoping to be out in my greenhouse outside. But again, being very careful, learn from my mistakes, not to rush outside, because I've done it before and it set me back. It just damaged a lot of the leaves of the young coleus. They'll be a little more mature, but a lot of the leaves, they'll get burned from, if it's just too windy or too raw out, even with a heater in the greenhouse. And again, I have a homemade greenhouse, so that's an interesting coleus there. It's like a Kong red variation. We'll see how that develops. But there, again, that's what really motivates me when I grow so many, is I get those varieties. I have a few of those with that kind of characteristic. Some colossal marbles, some jitters there. I know I have a few Darth Vaders coming in. Let's try to find those. I know you're out here, Darth Vader. All right, there's a Darth Vader. I also planted the Wishbone Terranias, so I'm going to try to keep those separate. So those are the Wishbone Terranias. Again, they're not in the coleus family, but the seeds are planted in the same fashion. They're dropped on top of the moist soil, and the light, heat, and warmth is what germinates the plant. That's a beauty. And I see a Darth Vader over here. Or actually, you know what? That may, I'm going to correct myself. That is actually a jitters because of the white. Darth Vaders generally don't have the white. And those are both jitters variations. They'll have a little Kong. And how I know that is see how they're more slender? That sliver up the middle, how the pink kind of goes up the axis of the center. That's how I know they're jitters. As opposed to this is a Wizard Rose Kong, where the white kind of spreads out and that fuchsia pinks kind of dabs out in the center. It doesn't really run up the axis as much. So that's how you can tell the difference between the two, but they're just as beautiful. Actually, I had a few, and it looks like that other one is going to be just as beautiful. Some beautiful jitters that have that Kong rose, the Wizard Rose trait to it, that beautiful fuchsia. I love that. And most people do also. There's some more jitters. And I like to take these trays off the rack, and then I'll turn them around. I'll put the trays that were on top on the bottom and switch them around. You can see they're all facing towards the sun. They'll do that like plants naturally do. And I'll turn the trays facing away. I'll turn the plants rather facing away from the bay window, and that sort of gives them that exercise, you know, to get the following the sun. Because once they're outside, once whoever buys these or whatever the ones I plant, that's what they're going to do throughout the day. They're going to move with the sun, just like we do. We always looking for the sun. At least I am here at the Jersey Shore. That's a colossal marble. Beautiful, beautiful color this year. Really, really excited. I cannot wait to pot these. All right, this is going to be a little washed out because I have the window in the background, but you can see the color. And I have the grow lights going also, so I just have, they're on a timer. They'll shut off tonight at 8 o'clock. Again, at this point, you want to you want your plants to rest. So you want to make sure if you're using grow lights to give them a rest. So have your either by timer, or if you remember yourself, have your grow light go off around 9 o'clock. Summertime it gets dark at 9, so give it a good 8 hours rest. 8 hours rest. As you can see, we got a lot of colossal marbles in the center there. Some Saturns in the front. I'm still letting them grow. A lot of plants here. Actually, if you can see here, I already separated a lot. Now, when I overseed like this, there may be 8, 10 tops that I drop down on one pod, and I'll actually pick out a lot of the smaller, weaker coleus and just pot the strong ones. So it might seem like a waste, but I really have a lot of seeds. And again, if you need some seeds, I still have about 6 packs left. Go to my eBay listing, Jim's Coleus here. And if you're a follower here, I'll offer you a discount. Just leave best offer $10. You can have a pack of, you can have some seeds, Jim's Coleus seeds for $10. You'll get 6 packs, a good amount of seeds, 6 different varieties. So that's Jim's Coleus on eBay. 6 packs left for the season, and then we'll do it all again next year. We'll start again in the fall. I'll list some more seeds. And here's a few. I really don't have a lot of room here, but I just filled a few pots. And these again, I got all these at dollar stores, and you could do it too. Just go to a dollar store, get a few pots, depending on how many coleus you're growing. There's some rootings that I threw in already. There's the overwintered one, if you've been following along. There's a jitters. But these here were rootings, and I trimmed them. And I still have some Darth Vader rootings in here, yet to be potted. I'm going to wait. And there's actually a Defiance. It's the only Defiance I have. I think I ordered some live plugs from Rosie Dawn. I always do every year. I order a few. Rosie Dawn Gardens, highly suggest them. That's Rosie Dawn Gardens. Just look it up, web search it. Great coleus supplier. They actually send you live plugs. It's really interesting how they send them. But got lots and lots of coleus yet to be planted. And these are all ready to get potted. So I do a little. I generally do a tray a day or 2. So again, I only have so much room here. In here, in these 2 racks, I can fit about 20 trays. And if I have to, my wife's very understanding. I'll we'll put them in other spots. But I have cats and so forth, so we don't want animals traipsing all over them. But we do a little at a time. I have the potting mixture all in here, ready to go. The Osmocote mixed in. So all I have to do is transfer the coleus in there, water them, and they're ready to go. All right, one last shot before we close for the week. So again, if you have any, if you follow along, you have any problems, there's never a stupid question. Don't ever feel that you have a question that you think is dumb, because it's not. I'm here for you guys. It's like the Wizard of Oz, the poppy field, except for it's all coleus. Wait till I have all the trays filled. We're going to fill this whole table. It's going to be just coleus forever. And then I really need to get outside. I'm looking at the forecast. It's going to be in the 60s, but it's still far. Even with the heater in my greenhouse, it's still too risky. And I've mentioned before, I've learned from my mistakes, and they're just, at this point, they're just too tender. I don't feel it's getting ahead of myself, but I think it's important for you guys to, if you're not familiar with hardening, as you let your coleus grow, whatever your intentions are, to eventually pot them or put them outside, either directly in the ground, you need to introduce them to the outdoors. So I'm going to give you a little instructional on how to properly harden or prepare your coleus so they can live and they can make it on the outdoors. If you put a coleus right outside, it probably won't make it. Unless you buy a store-bought coleus from, for example, ShopRite, and they have, or Lowe's or Home Depot, and they have you bought a coleus that's hanging, it's in a hanging basket, and it's outside at the store, then you're good. It's already been hardened, they're ready to go, it's already out in the elements. But if you're growing your own coleus in pots by yourself, before you bring it outside, you need to harden it. And we're going to shoot that video next week, so stay tuned for that. Alright, let's just take a look at these coleus. I'll shut my mouth so you don't have to hear me talk. You can enjoy these beautiful coleus. It's more like a Kong red. Kong reds, generally you have the green, black center with the red or pink, mostly red center on top of that. Like the wizard variety, you'll generally have the white. You can see a little white there in the center, but it's generally, that's a Kong red. But they may have a little splash of white just at the root where it comes in off the stem. Okay, and last before we close, watering. Again, at this point, we haven't had a lot of intense heat and sun coming in off of the bay window, so the water in these are the pots are still pretty moist, so I haven't really watered them in a couple of days. There was a few that looked a little dry. I gave them a little shot, but for the most part, the Miracle-Gro moisture retention soil, the blue bag, is pretty good. It's got a lot of vermiculite, wood shavings and so forth inside that absorb the water and release the water as needed. So you really don't need to water your coleus a lot. They don't like a lot of water, and one way to find out, the one way to know that you're over watering your coleus is if it starts to yellow. If you don't have that rich green, like if you notice, I'm like, wow, that used to be really green, now it looks like pale yellow. Skip a few days of watering. That's too much water. You don't want to overwater. And again, make sure all of your pots are drained. Number one reason why people lose their coleus if they're in the pots is that there's no drain holes and the water sits in the soil and then the roots rot and you lose your plant. Beautiful, beautiful color this year. So if you're following along, I hope you're as excited as I am. And we're going to close out. And thanks for watching Jim's Holiest of Coleus. And stay tuned for that hardening coleus video. We'll be getting that out to you shortly. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.